We're going to be talking about fishing down in Mexico, and we're going to be talking about fishing in the state of Sinaloa, El Salto, Picachos, and Baccarac. And here's the number one reason why you should go to Baccarac. They put in the tilapia nets at night. The other lakes, they net during the day. And when you're down there and the nets are in the lake, they net tilapia with gill nets, and they will put in hundreds, if not thousands, of nets. And yes, I know they pull them at times at the other lakes, but if you book a trip down there, you spend thousands of dollars, take time off work, and you're chasing your dream fish, you want the conditions fishable, And when they net tilapia down there, they'll run a net 3 to 5 feet off the bank, and man, they'll run it as long as that net goes, and then they'll run 100 more. And then they'll run from one shoreline to the other shoreline. So they will totally block off total coves in the lake, total like little arms and bays could be all just full of tilapia nets. So when you're with your guide, you're not fishing the conditions. You're not fishing a pattern. You're just driving around looking for where there's no nets, because it's the easiest place to fish, and it's easier for the guides to take you around, because they don't have to lift up the trolling motor every 5 feet to go over the next net, And yeah, if you call down there and they're going to be like, yeah, the nets are in the water, but don't worry about it. Our guides know how to do it, and you just cast with the nets. Well, yeah, because that's your only option, And yeah, you're going to catch fish, but man, let's say you get the fish of a lifetime on, and you're trying to get into the boat, and now you got nets on both sides of you, and you got to worry about losing in the net. It's a hassle. And they float these nets up with 2-liter Coca-Cola bottles. So you're up in a beautiful mountain lake, and it's totally pristine, and there's all these floating 2-liter bottles. It's the ugliest thing, and it drives me absolute crazy. And I've had to fish around the nets more often than not, and you can get the hang of it, where you can see where the nets are running and where they're not, so you're not casting into the net. What a headache, man. So just save yourself that. If you can't book a trip when the nets aren't in the lake at those lakes, say forget it and just go to Baccarac, because man, it's the jam. They have the agreement worked out with the local town people on their lake association. So, all these lakes are reservoirs. They were dammed up. A lot of these people's towns were flooded, their homes, their cemeteries. And so the government did that, and then they put tilapia in there to help them make a living, because they were all ranchers before that. So Baccarac has maintained a high quality fish down there compared to the other lakes, where the weights can fluctuate pretty drastically every few years from the cycle, because the netting pressure on those other lakes is so much heavier. And also at Baccarac, they have markers where the tilapia netters aren't allowed to go way back into the coves, so the tilapia aren't getting so much pressure, so, and you go to those other lakes, and man, the tilapia is the main food source down there at most of the lakes, and man, the tilapia netters know exactly where they are. So, the bass are going to be right there following the tilapia, and if it's all netted off, man, it kind of just is a major fishing trip killer. So, number one reason, right there, Lake Baccarac. Spend your hard-earned money and have a better chance at catching a fish of a lifetime. Thanks for watching, guys.